Welcome students, welcome to my second part of my video, Political Science, Standard 10th, the electoral process. As we all know and we have seen in the first part that election has played a major role in working Indian democracy. Election and representation are the two very important processes in democracy. And we have seen the importance of free and fair election. Why we need to have free and fair election? The reasons are: 1, peaceful change of power, that is, one political party will very peacefully give it a chance for other to rule as a government. Second one, the policies of the government for the welfare of the masses. Also, different representatives who are elected, they should be efficient, they should be honest, they should be trustworthy, and they should respect the opinion of the people. Now, these are the very reasons why we conduct free and fair election. Now, there is an independent body who is responsible for conducting the election, that is Election Commission. It is a separate body which conducts election in the country. Now, when I speak of Election Commission, there is Election Commission of India and the state level State Election Commission that conducts important election in our country. The entire process, right from declaring the date of election to the declaration of the results, that is the role of Election Commission. And election process is inseparable component of comprehensive democratic purpose or process. Now, further we will see that Election Commission is the central to the process of elections. This autonomous body is solely responsible for election. Article 324 of the Constitution of India established this body, which consists of Chief Election Commissioner and 2 other commissioners. Then I spoke about the first election commissioner, Sukumar Sen. In 1921, Sukumar Sen was selected for Indian civil service under the British rule. He was given the charge of election commissioner after the election commission was established in 1950. He handled his responsibility very efficiently, and also at the extreme situation he kept his calm and he worked properly. Then we spoke about the functions of Election Commission. The first function, preparing the voters list. Second function, decides the timetable and the programs of election. Third, scrutiny of application of the candidate. Fourth, give recognition to the political parties. Fifth, to resolve disputes relating to elections. Sixth, restructuring of the constituency. So these are the basic functions, I would say, of the Election Commission. Now, I would like to speak on election process because there is a separate question asked on election process. So you need to be very carefully watching at this box and you have to learn it. See that you are learning for your board exam. What are the process of election? One, the first one, establishment of constituencies. Second one, finalizing the voters list. Third one, nomination of the candidates and scrutiny of their nomination forms. Fourth one, election campaign. Fifth one, actual voting. Sixth one, counting of votes. Seventh one, results of election. And eighth one, resolution of disputes regarding election. Now, as we all know that it is the duty of the election commission to restructure the constituencies. Now, once they restructure the constituency, simple, they will finalize the voters list. They will update all the voters list. Those who have attained the age of 18 will fill the form and they will update the list. Then the nomination of the candidate and scrutiny of their nomination forms. If a candidate is having a criminal background, he or she will not stand for election. Then election campaign, they give few days for election campaign. Then a final day approaches where they go for voting. Then after that, counting of votes and declaration of the results. And if there is any conflict or the resolution of dispute regarding election. So this is the process of election. Now, my dear students, we will see what is code of conduct. There are certain code of conduct. When I speak of code of conduct, for example, now students, you all are going to school. To whichever school you belong to, they are having code of conduct. You have to wear the uniform, you have to wear the tie, you have to be on time to school, you can go out of your school on time. If you fumble with the rules, your parents will be called, and the extreme part is you will be given living certificate, right? In the same way, here there are certain code of conduct. Now, what are those code of conduct? Election Commission, in order to ensure free and fair election, they see that people don't misuse their power. There is no malpractice during the time of election. The muscle power, the money power. Not only that, they will not involve themselves in any violence during the election. So these are certain code of conduct. I would like to add some more. You have to disclose the property. How much property do you possess? Are you a taxpayer? You are okay? You are not insane, and all these things do matter. It's coming under code of conduct. And if any of the candidates violates code of conduct, they are not given the membership or the candidature. Now, what are the challenges in conducting free and fair election? Now, it's very simple. There are many challenges the election commission are facing. One is, there are political parties who misuse their money. They show money power. They are throwing out money, they are shedding out money during election. They go to the people, they give alcohol, they give food, and they say, please vote for us. So, misuse of money. Many political parties have candidate who is having criminal background. Yes, my dear students. If such candidates are there, they don't allow them to stand for election. This is the common problem which the election commission is facing now. If you look at all the prominent parties, if you see all the people, those who are standing for election, have got some or the other criminal background, but yet there is no option. They are given ticket, they are given the nomination. And my dear students, it is rightly said in Hindi, politics एक गंदा कीचड़ है, वहाँ अच्छे लोग खड़े नहीं रह सकते. Now the other major challenges are violence during election. If you go to the rural part or the rural areas, we find people with great spirit, they fight election and they enter into conflict with each other. And all the political parties, they should follow this code of conduct, that they should not involve themselves in violence. But it is said that all political parties should help election commission to control this violence. And last but not the least, to retain and continue the influence of on politics, there are certain leaders who give the ticket to their own family members or relatives, thus to create family monopoly in politics. You see, this was happening long back. I'm not going to give you examples. This was happening long back, right from father to daughter, daughter to son, and after that it was stopped. Such retaining influence in politics was prevailing before, but not now. Now, my dear students, we will see the election commission thought of bringing some electoral reforms so that the election process can get improved. Now, what are those election process or election reforms? Very simple. To increase participation of women. Yes, my dear students, women in Indian society is not given a fair share. They are always backward. They are always made to sit in the kitchen, look after the children, look after the husband. Now the need was felt that the participation of women in politics should be given due importance. 50% of candidature should be given to the women candidates and try to ensure that they are elected. Second one, political parties should not give candidature to the candidate having criminal background. They should strictly follow the decision given by the court in this respect. Third, the government should take care of election expenses to ensure that the parties will not make misuse of money, mismanagement of money during election. Representation of the People's Act should be amended so that the candidate having criminal background will not be able to participate in election. Now, my dear students, before I conclude the lesson, let me give you a brief history the journey from ballot box to EVM machine. Now, my dear students, this journey from ballot box to EVM machine is quite interesting. If you will ask your parents, if you ask your grandfather, your grandmother, did you see EVM machine? They will say no. They have not seen the EVM machine. They will say we have seen the ballot paper and ballot boxes. Now let me give you a brief history about it. The journey from ballot box to EVM machine. The first election in independent India was held in 1951-52. This was the beginning of shaping of democracy through electoral politics. In initial election, ballot boxes were used for the purpose of voting. Now, in the 21st century, the use of EVM machine is started right from the decade of 1990s. Many things could be achieved because of voting machine. If voters do not want to vote for any candidate, they can choose the option none of the above, nota. This option can be given only because of voting machine. It has become easy for even the people who are handicapped to vote. To reduce now, what are the benefits of EVM machine? It's very simple. The first benefit, it is helping our environment. It reduced the cutting of trees for paper and thereby helping in protection of the environment. Second, it has also been possible to have early declaration of election results. Yes, my dear students, when there is a counting of election going on, within a day the results are not announced. When there was a ballot paper, they would take days to come out with results. But now with the EVM machine, very quickly, once the counting starts in the morning, by evening the results are out. Finally, you will find which party gets the majority, who will be in the opposition, who will be in the ruling party is seen very easily. Now, my dear students, there are a few terms I would like to mention, and I would like you all to look at properly and also learn it from the board point of view. One is general election. General election means Lok Sabha election held after 5 years. They are called general election. Yes, my dear students, elections are held after every 5 years. Midterm election. If the elected government loses the majority before completing its term in the parliament, or the parties of the coalition government withdraws their support, results in the loss of majority support of the government, and there is no alternative government is possible, then elections are held, and the completion of before the completion of the term, they are called midterm election. Then what is by-election? By-election is if an elected representative in the Lok Sabha or Vidhan Sabha or the local self-government resigns, or due to the death, his or her death, and the seat becomes vacant, and the elections are held for that vacant seat, this is called by-election. Now, my dear students, let me give you some more information which you need to know. That is, Election Commission should establish an expert committee. Election Commission established an expert committee on 8th October 2010. It was decided to add a new facility voter verified paper audit trail in EVM machine. All political parties supported this because of the facility the voter can verify whether the vote cast is registered properly. The purpose of this important step is to stop malpractice in election. Yes, my dear students, that is all in this lesson. I would like to thank you for your patient hearing.